Congratulations. You won the war. The worst thing a manipulator hates is when you've learned your value. When you have learned to love yourself. They didn't expect you to stand on business this time. You left, and that was the last straw. That was the final straw. And now they're mad, they're upset. They're gonna try to make it seem like you're the bad person. They're gonna start spreading rumors, spreading lies to make it seem like you were the bad person the whole time. But what they realized that everything you was going through, God was on your side. You're like a silent sniper. Meaning, they thought they was getting away with everything they was getting away with. Talking about you bad, sneaking around, the silent conversations, all of that. They thought they was getting away with that. Whole time God was revealing everything to you. That's why you're the silent sniper. Because you didn't raise your voice, didn't call them out their name. You didn't cause them ill will or anything like that. All you did was sit back, observe, and pray. You asked God to break those connections that you had with these people. And once you learn your value, all you see is those people monitoring everything that you do. Social media, they try to call you, that they're popping up in locations you're at. Be careful. Watch your back. But you won the war. You won the war, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for finally seeing your value. I'm proud of you for pouring back into yourself. I'm proud of you for taking yourself serious. The whole time these people was around you, they just walked all over you. They walked all over you because they was playing on your heartstrings. They knew your heart was big, and they knew whatever they do to you, you will always forgive them because you got a forgiving heart. But they didn't know that there was a limit to it. They can only get away with so much before God stepped in, because God knew that you wasn't going to break the cycle. So he had to step in and intervene. He had to step in and intervene. He realized that these people was draining your soul. They was draining your spirit. So he had to step in. He had to send his angel to come to war for you. Revenge is always the Lord. And you live by that. You never try to prove your point. And you never try to hurt people because you're not a hurtful person. You're not that type of person. So before you react, you always go to God. You always talk to God. You always step away and have time to yourself. And that's how you won the battle. Because you've been praying. You've been praying. And God finally answered that prayer. He had to let you to learn the lesson. He had to let you learn the lesson that you should take yourself serious. Never let nobody walk over you, and know who you are. You were trying to live for too many people. You were trying to satisfy too many people. So God had to take you through that test. So now, you have a testimony to speak to those who have went through the same thing that you've been through. You won the war. You know your value now. You should be happy. That's another victory under your belt. Them demons couldn't break you. They couldn't trample over you. They couldn't break your spirit, you know? And ever since those people been in your life, everything just been going upside down. Everything been going down, 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 you know? But you won the war. You have won the war, so you should be glad. God loves you. That's why you're protected. You're covered by God.